by Cedar Sinai. Shifty work into the box. And across, it's in! Oh, it's LaRue! It's a dream return!
Welcome to Casual FC, an Angel City preview pod. I'm your host, Mario Salazar, with my amazing co-host, who's currently yawning, Angela Morales.
This happens every time we start recording. I have to yawn 8 times. And I try and get it all out before we hit record, but nope.
I'm surprised that I don't get triggered by it, because usually, like, the kids will yawn. We're reading a book and there's someone yawning and I'll yawn.
Talking about it.
Yeah, there you go. For some reason, it's not affecting me right now, but usually it does.
It does, yeah. We're here.
We're here. This is we don't have a match preview. We've got a nice Olympic break coming up, so that there's going to be a good month or so of no NWSL matches. There will be a few Challenge Cup 2.0 or Liga MX summer soccer, whatever they're calling it. I don't know. I'll look it up eventually.
I'll eventually look up what it's called, but I like having a different name for it every time.
Yeah.
For shenanigans.
Those are going to be coming up. But this, we decided we needed our footy therapy. So this is our footy therapy session from the Olympic send-off match that we had with Gotham FC. So to get started,
it's a little footy therapy, a little preview of what we're doing during the Olympic break, because I'm excited about it. But you have to listen to the whole episode to find out. Haha.
Exactly. And we won't get. I'm not going to put timestamps on this one, so you can't just skip to the end. All right.
Ooh, I have now yawned thrice.
We're going to go off with the Chaos Award.
So if you were at the game, you know exactly what we're going to say. If you weren't, there was a rave held during the game outside of the Coliseum at what they're calling the Torch. So like the courtyard outside the Coliseum. Yeah. And whatever. The grounds are used for a million events all the time that coincide. But this was, honest to God, one of the most awful experiences I've ever had at a sporting event. Our seats were vibrating. It hurt. Like, when you have earplugs in, your seats are vibrating, and you still hear the whoomp from bass and subwoofers. Stop it. Eva was like, this is terrible. Like, she's like, the mixing is bad. She's like going into musician brain of nobody's enjoying this. It's far too loud. Our friend Richie, who's just like us at a concert every other day, it feels like sometimes, is just, what is happening? Like, why? Who is enjoying this over there? Because if it's this loud here, your eardrums are beyond blasted any closer.
No, we were walking back to the car and it was going off, and it was just like, dude, there's like chest thumping loud. This was like, I felt like I was getting like a colon exam, like a prostate exam.
Yeah.
Like I felt it like everywhere.
And like, and I don't want to sound old and crotchety. Like, I don't like loud music. Like, you and I were literally at the Hollywood Bowl a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
Like, we were at the Hollywood Bowl listening to an insanely loud concert. And guess what? It was freaking great. But this was just awful.
I think to each their own. The crowd that was there was probably in love. They were like digging it. They were tripping. So. They were tripping balls, and they're just whatever. But yeah, like I'm gonna sound like the crotchety old man, but still, like, there's a point where it's just like inaudible. There's no point. Like so when we were walking out, whoever was playing their set was ending their set and ended it with the sea chant, the yo ho, the thieves and beggars, that thing, that's been like all over TikTok and whatnot. And that chant or that song is sung in such a low register, right? It's a super low baritone. But when you put that low baritone in the over
Oh
like
no.
bass driven speakers. It was so hard. It took me maybe a good 20-30 seconds to realize that it was that song.
Yeah.
That's a very recognizable song right out the bat, but it was like very muffled because of the amount of bass. So either way, Chaos Award goes to that freaking party that was happening across. The fact that it was
And maybe
so
don't do that
loud
at the same
during.
time.
Okay, and
Maybe just let a rave exist at the Expo Park grounds by itself.
so I will say that having been a season ticket holder for many years at
Fair.
BMO and Bank, we've been day ones with ACFC. I was a day one with LAFC. I've been to plenty of matches, and there have been plenty of other events at Expo Park. Some of them have been in front of the Natural History Museum, which is quite a ways away, but they take up the entirety of that open field.
Right.
And that thing can get crazy too, but like it's pretty far away, you don't hear it. But there also have been raves and stuff in that same torch area, but I will say this was the loudest one.
Yeah.
There have been events and you can hear them, right?
Right.
All
That's
open
fine.
air, but this one was insanely loud.
Yeah. I know someone in my section was getting a migraine. Bass like that where it doesn't stop, it like overstimulates me to the point where then it triggers all of my anxiety, and I'm like, there's something bad that's coming, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I know we're having a really bad season. Yeah. Need impending doom imposed by sounds. Thank you. But whatever. We survived it as a family. As an Angel City family. We survived it. It's not
a fitting
fault.
way. It's a fitting way to end this part of the season going into a break. Just being like, you know what, this was loud and obnoxious, and I'm glad it's over. And let's start again. Let's take a break and let's start anew when we get back. So with that, let's take a look
hit
at
me with
the
the scores
around the league. We had Portland beating the Wave 1-0. We had the Red Stars beating Houston 1-0. We had, of course,
the match of the freaking weekend.
Yes. Kansas City versus Orlando. It was an Orlando win. Kansas City lost 1-2. So now Orlando broke Kansas City's 17-game win streak. And Orlando is now currently on a 17-game win streak. Insanity.
It was wild. There was controversy after the game. Marta was being Marta. And to be fair, people are saying she was being unsportsman and like freaking out and being crazy. Marta has lived through a lot with the Orlando.
We were saying that the same, like when we played Orlando in Orlando, the first match, there was a lot of, remember, it was clear as day on the cameras captured it. Marta getting so frustrated and upset that she was punching the ground. She was like, slam, like putting her fist on the ground. Like she was so upset.
She is
like she's
nothing but not passionate. But yeah, I was gonna say she's nothing if not animated. Every good, bad, otherwise. But she has been part of the Pride for so long and has gone through so many iterations of that team at the depths of the standings, the top of the league, like all over the place. And for her to be on this team while they're having the season like this makes me so incredibly happy. I think
well deserved. It's when you talk
Orlando,
about putting in the work. Yeah.
Literally, she built that team at this point. She's recruited, she's engaged people, she's gotten folks to move countries to come. Like Marta's different.
I wouldn't be surprised that when she's done, she ends up like in the FO, like she ends up in the front office, like just continuing the work. So we have Bay losing to the Spirit 0-3. We have the Courage winning over Racing 3-1, and we have a draw against Seattle and Utah 1-1, which brings us to our match. We played Gotham FC.
Yes, we did.
And we lost. It was a 1-2 match. The only score we had was a penalty, beautifully executed by Claire. But that was
Except for the fact that now Giselle doesn't get the call up, or her call up wasn't rescinded, but she can't go because she's hurt.
She's hurt, yeah. Giselle got the call up to the U20s, U.S. national team, and she is no longer going because of the injury sustained from this match.
Thanks, Gotham.
So that's tough for her. And Gotham scored twice, one from Lavelle at 16 minutes. I wasn't even in the stadium yet.
I know, there was a, Mario had to go on a quest, one to find parking with his family, and then the second part of the quest was getting to the stadium.
Yeah, family.
Blame it on the rave. Blame it on the rave.
That too. We left late, and so we got to the stadium later than our usual time, and we did not make it into the line to get into the main blue parking lot, which is the lot that's right in front of the stadium. So we got pushed around Martin Luther King, and I thought we were going to go into the general lot, but that was full and closed, and they kept pushing us all the way down Martin Luther King till we got to the Aquatic Center on Expo, basically the other side of the Coliseum, and we parked in the orange lot, which is like an underground lot. And at that point, the entire way, all the way around, was one lane, like just sitting behind someone else.
Yep, an excursion.
It was insane. Sad to say that I did miss our wonderful friend singing the national anthem. I missed kickoff. I missed all the fun stuff because of stupid parking. I missed that goal by Rose.
But I mean, we did say that I've never been more mad about being right. That Rose is in the right place at the wrong time for the other team. I've never been more upset being right.
Okay, so we had a goal from Rose Lavelle at the 16th minute, and then we had a goal by Sheehan at the 40th minute.
It's technically pronounced Sheehan, but she has said it is Sheehan. I looked this up because Eva and I were like, no, it's Sheehan, and we're like, no. So yeah, it's Sheehan.
So we'll get to the quick footy therapy, because that's really where we want to spend our time on this one. It was just another L on the chart. But thoughts about the game? I saw the wonderful video of Ashley singing the national anthem, and it was great. I'm really sad I missed it. There were some moments of excitement for me while I was in the stadium. A lot of moments of kind of frustration where there was, when you get to that point where you're just, all I was yelling was pass the ball up, kick it forward, stop kicking it backwards. Like, I was getting so unreasonably angry whenever they kicked it backwards.
It's hard because I think what's happening is we're having these moments of really good soccer. And passes are connecting and people look like they are all on the same page and everybody's clicking and it's good and it's good. And then something happens and then it all just goes shenanigans and the ball gets passed backwards. The hard part was that the Gotham defense was stalling. So we couldn't get in position to go.
This was a team of vets, because I texted you and I was like, this is masterclass in shithousery.
Absolutely.
This was like
absolutely
chef's kiss of this is how you properly shithouse and waste time and anger the opponent. By
beautifully done.
Beautifully done. Yes.
Beautifully done.
Annoyingly
Their back line was playing up so high that if we so much as breathed on the ball in the wrong way, we'd be offside. Or they were playing in a way where we couldn't push the ball. We would try and then it would just get pushed back. And it was like this game of inches in the midfield for what felt like 300 years. It was probably 20 minutes. But is one, and that's when you were texting me. I was like, nobody's moving. We can't move the ball up because if we move the ball up, then we'll be offsides because nobody can get a foot. Like you couldn't get a step on your defender in any way. It was beautiful defense, but it sucks. It sucks when it's your team that's being defended so well. It's very much a world-class team. National team wise, they had 6-7 players going to the Olympics.
Yeah, basically
very
at the
much
end of the game. At the end of the
it was
match,
like half
when
the
they
team.
were like doing the giving the flowers and being like, everybody that's leaving and Ali Riley.
Yeah. Which Sid posted today that she had to pay for her own ticket to get to Paris. So
Really?
Here starts the Federation shenanigans. And people are like, put up a GoFundMe link. We're paying for Cap's ticket.
Yeah.
Her 5th and most likely final Olympics, and you don't pay for a business class ticket so she can fly comfortably before she's going to compete in a world tournament. I hate why is this hard? Why is this so every single cuss word in the world hard?
That's complete BS. Although one of the reasons that I even think till now we still don't have an official list of players for New Zealand is they're going through shit. Like they have some crazy controversy going on. Yep. I'm not fully into it and I haven't done a deep dive on it yet, but still I know that their
coaching staff is all
in shambles,
messed up. Yeah. Like
but
about it
during
the Cup about how the federations screw their teams over, and here we go again, friends. Here we go again. We're just getting started. And this is only soccer that we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's not every other sport, because guess what? Every other sport does it too. Okay. So the game happened. The rave happened.
There's a beautiful haka for Ali.
Oh, yeah.
I will say, though, I got a little wound up. My wife looked at me. She's like, how do you expect me not to cry? It was beautiful. My only thought was, I get why it was post game. That should have totally been like a pre-match or like a halftime thing. Because of the loss, so many people left already.
Yeah.
And it took forever because the players were still on the field. Both Angel City and Gotham were doing their huddle on the field.
Yeah, game stuff.
Yeah, normal post-game. So there was all this normal post-game stuff where they're talking, they're hugging their friend. They're all basically colleagues, so they're friends and teammates and ex-teammates and everything like that. They're just catching up or talking or being like, good game. All of that's going on. And then the haka takes place 15 minutes later when half the stadium or a quarter of the stadium has already left and people are still walking out because nobody understood what was actually going to happen. But for those who stayed, it was a beautiful performance. Like the hakas are always so powerful and moving. There's this one comic from New Zealand and like he just talks about how beautiful and powerful the haka is, but if you translate it into English, it's the weirdest, like it's the most it's like benign
you come
thing
here and then I go there, and it's like it's so simple but intense. It's all intense.
It's the intensity, it's the emotion behind it. It's beautiful, and we wish Ali the best of luck and hoping that she has a great. If this is her final time with the national team,
I hope it's an Olympic goal.
I hope so too. I hope that she has a good tournament. Whatever she considers a good tournament, I hope she does. It's not like New Zealand is a favorite to win gold or anything, but sometimes it's a matter of just getting the result. If you got the result, it is what it is. And look at the World Cup. That was super
like high. Make it out of your group. See what happens. You know, like disrupt some people. break some brackets, if you will.
Get weird with it.
Yeah, get weird. All right.
All right.
So after the game, we posted up on Instagram our normal post-game prompt. How are we feeling heading into the Olympic break? There's a lot of emotion in a lot of these responses. Vero said ACFC fire sale, everything in the front office and coaching staff must go. Which, whew,
so she wants to clear house.
Yeah, I get it. But statistically, after a coach has been elected as an interim coach to then become a head coach, statistically, that first season is terrible. And then they're fine after that. Same with the new GM. So I don't know. It's not a clear cut and dry thing for me of if we need to just clean house and start over or wait till the end of the season.
Yeah. We did mention towards the end of the Olympics, the international transfer window opens up for us, or just the transfer window opens up, which means stuff might be coming down the pipeline the way it's been promised. Today there was a article about press feeling really good and possibly being ready by the time, in a month from now. She has had a full practice with the team. And by ready, please don't quote me in saying that she's going to be playing a full 90. She's not. By ready, I mean that she'll get 5 minutes.
She'll get
at the end of the game. Yeah.
Incrementally increase.
Yes.
Was that like an actual interview article or just a Just Women Sports thing?
I saw the clip of whatever it was on Reddit.
Okay.
And then
I'll have to look because I don't trust Just Women Sports to be accurate anymore. And it's a bummer because they had such a good jumping off point.
But it said that according to a source who needed to be named anonymous but wasn't officially able to talk on the matter, there are 2 big prospects that are being looked at and possibly ready to get signed. The one downside with that, though, is 2 prospects coming in with CP means someone's got to go. There's only 2 spots open right now.
That's true. I have ideas, but I'm just going to keep those ideas to myself. Because I say this because I do my best to keep the majority of my mean opinions to myself. One, because they're not helpful and I'm trying to be mature and grow up and it's hard. But also my favorite players or my least favorite players, whatever, it doesn't equate to them being good or bad necessarily. They're still professional athletes. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to step in it if I don't need to, but I have ideas of who we could offload. We wouldn't get too many dollars, but I don't know if we need the dollars.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. What did Greg say?
Greg said that we were feeling flat and a much needed break. What? Oh, yeah. He worded it weird because there's a character count, but I agree. He said, hoping we take a breath and come back fresh, which, yeah, I agree with that. It felt flat, but I also get it. It's just getting to that finish line of a break. Our friend Tim said that it was nothing to rave about and a sad face, which thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. Dustin, who I just found out is also gluten-free. We've had extensive conversations about this since finding out 2 days ago. Because when you find out that somebody you know is also gluten-free or has celiac disease or whatever, you immediately become best friends and send each other lists of restaurants, products, all kinds of stuff. So if anybody out there is finding out that they have to go gluten-free, just hit us up. I got you. So Dustin said it can't come fast enough. Touching send-off for Cap, though. Those are the special moments that make this fun and worthwhile. Would definitely like to see improvement on the pitch to go with it, though. Yes.
Yeah.
That is true. Janthony said, tired, frustrated. Does the team even want the ball? ? And then see y'all at Titan, which, yeah, There were definitely times on Saturday night where it's like it was like our passes, either our offense was being read very easily and slash or our passes were lazy. Like just in general. They were, I think it was both.
Yeah.
And then before I hand the torch over to Mario, I get the pleasure and honor of reading another haiku from Ethan. So he said, good press in ozone, played a good team, wish for a tie, let loose, play them youths. I love that. Let loose, play them youths. I'm going to be saying youths for a month now just because of my cousin Vinny. And
All right. And then, okay, so we had a message from Katie saying, honestly hopeful. I might be the odd one out, though. No, Katie, you're in good company. We're always going to be hopeful. I think everybody
is hopeful.
Casual FC will always be hopeful. We may be down, but we're always hopeful. And our good friend, Jeff, who no character count can keep him down. So he sends us a DM, and I love the fact that he did that because when he first did this, I asked him, "Hey, can you go back and just put check DMs so I don't forget to grab it when I'm putting together the recap?" And that's just like default now, and I love it.
Yep, just check DMs, and there's an essay.
All right, so Jeff went, not good, and I want to be positive, but let me get the bad mojo first. We're one win in the last 9 matches. Our expected non-penalty XG was 0.8%. And the per shot XG was an underwhelming 0.8%. It doesn't matter who's up top because either the balls are not getting to them in good spots, the shots are weak, or the team can't finish in those good chances. Lowest crowd attendance against a star-studded team in Gotham FC was this Saturday night. In a summer before a long break, you would think you would fill the seats. Tweed's tactics aren't working, and the substitutions last night, oh lord. No subs until the 70th minute, and they're defensive at that. Orlando can beat KC in KC with 10 players. That is a well-made roster that is well-coached, and unfortunately, Hucles has made some misses and is getting the ire, or many of us, I think the ire from many of us, as well as our roster construction. Maybe new ownership is what it really takes. But let me take a deep breath. As of now, we're somehow just 3 points, a win from the playoff line, Tweed and Co.
So also, to be fair to the front office, since there's a lot of heavy critiques right now, this isn't Becky or Angela Hucles' roster. The majority of the people that are still on the team are from the previous...
From Annie?
From Annie and Freya. Yeah, like it's... The majority of the roster is still that chapter.
Yes.
And granted, we've re-signed people, but it's different when you're in a roster... in your own timeline or like in your own.
If you're gonna I
don't know what I'm trying to say, but I know you know what I mean.
If you're gonna hire Tweed and let her cook, you've got to let her cook with what she needs. Now,
right?
It's not to say we're not saying that the team right now isn't exactly. It's not what she needs, but it's not exactly what she needs. She needs to be able to make some more decisions, and like you said earlier. The typical of a interim coach to a new coach is like they're still working with what was there previously. It probably gonna take this season into the following season for her to be able to take the reins and start reforming the team in really what she needs. Now,
because when she came in, there was already been like roster extensions or like contract extensions, re-signings, things like that. So it's this weird transition that we're still going through that I don't think we're really going to see culminate until next season.
Yeah. And even like the idea of adding press to the lineup.
Yeah.
Yes, she's barely had press starting to train with the team. She doesn't know, as good as press is going to be, she doesn't know how she's going to actually work with the team that's there right now, or how she's going to work within the system that Tweed is working with. That's still an unknown. It's a better than normal unknown, but it's still an unknown, and it can not work at all. Tweed is not solely the problem. I know some people are jumping on the Tweed out bandwagon, and I don't think that's right. Hucley's, again, working with what she's got, but I think there has been more decisions that can be laid upon her desk than Tweed's desk. And if there needs to be a reason why, that is the reason why it's falling on Hucley's at the moment. So again, they're both dealing with, like we were saying last year, Tweed was dealt the shit sandwich of a completely terrible first half of the season and turned it around. That hand that she's being dealt of roster construction and just the way the team is at the moment is something that is still the haunting of the previous administration, essentially.
Yeah.
We still need some time to rinse and repeat and get it to our point. But with Jeff's last point, let's check out the standings. Currently, we're still in 11th place, still on 15 points. We're still tied with San Diego Wave, also on 15 points, but they win out on goal differential. Does that sound very familiar? Yes, because I did not change the notes from last episode. Everyone lost or tied from 8th place all the way down.
Moved.
Nobody moved. So from 8 all the way down to the bottom, nobody moved. So it is what it is. So we're still a shot away from making it to the playoffs.
Anything can happen after this break. Anything.
Our really heavy schedule is over with. We have all the heavy hitters are now done with for the season. Maybe this is our chance. This is our Becky Sparkles tour moment of the second half of the season after the Olympic break. Okay. That's where we're at.
That's where we're at. And it's going to give us all some time to cool off, to sit with it. Not that any of us can cool off because it's a billion effing degrees everywhere. But we have some really fun stuff coming up for the Olympic break and for us in general. So we have Olympic preview episodes coming up, my friends. I'm so freaking excited. We've already recorded one of them. And it's like, we record another one on Wednesday and then another one on Sunday, and it's just bam. And it's so exciting. So to give you a little preview of who we're talking to, we have our first repeat guest.
Yeah, that's true.
Our very first repeat guest.
I did not realize that, yes.
Yeah, the one, the only, M. Woods, and one of her friends, Allie, who runs State Champs, which is a coffee shop in Kent, Ohio that specializes in exceptionally good-looking coffee drinks with great names and sports. So a total community center, exactly the vibe that I always want in any place I go to. So you're going to have an episode with the two of them talking about one of the groups, another TikTok superstar, and I would honestly say leading voice in content creators who talk about women's soccer, Casey on the Case. And last but not least, two people that I'm very excited to talk to for a billion reasons. You'll find out when we record this episode. Emily and Leslie from Gal Pal Sports. I'm so excited. It's one of those where I'm like, ooh, new friends. And it feels very first day of school nervous, very first day of school excited. And I'm just like, oh yeah, this is going to be the best time ever. We also have another really special episode that's coming out next week on Wednesday, our normal time. We're not going to say who. We're not going to say what. It may or may not be related to bars and meeting spaces and food and sports. But Who knows? We don't know. We can't mention it, but I'm very excited.
All of this is being said with the knowledge that all of these things we've worked really hard to schedule. And
yes.
As long as schedules hold for the next 4 days, because all of this happens within 4 days. As long as that schedule holds.
Yeah, I was going to say, today's Tuesday. One of those episodes has already been recorded. We have 3 more to do. We're doing 2 of them on Sunday. Like, we just got to get to Sunday night.
As long as all of those, you will have all that content hot and fresh and ready for you to listen to.
Yeah.
And we'll be spreading out the Olympic episodes right before the first Olympic matches. Just to give you a little preview, the first Olympic women's soccer match will happen actually the day before the opening games. So the opening games are going to be on Friday the 26th, but the first group stage matches for the Olympic women's soccer will be on the 25th, Thursday. Our Olympic preview episodes will come out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, give you some time to brush up, keep everything nice and fresh as soon as you walk into watching all the Olympic coverage. Yeah.
Get ready. I'm so excited. We've talked about it before. If you listen to any of the World Cup stuff, this is when I'm like the most patriotic version of myself. I'm so friggin' excited for the Olympics.
I put up a thing on the weekend of 2 things, actually. One was the Homer Simpson like meme of walking backwards into the bush, but coming out, it's like Angel City kit, and then you walk into the bush, come back out with the women's national team kit, because that's all of us right now. And then I did post up a little like, how much of the red, white, and blue are you at this point? And there was a sliding scale of I have a different team, and I'm very much a millennial in my gifts, so like I chose very curated gifts to put at the bottom.
Were great.
We had, if you had a team from another country, then we had Wacko Warner doing his country's song and pointing to the map. We had a meh,
which I hope like at least 10 different people started singing in their heads right now, because I did.
Yeah. And then we had a middle point, which was like, meh. And I think it was just like someone just waving a flag. And then the bleeding red, white, and blue for the Olympic month was the one gif of, it's from a women's soccer. It's from the women's U.S. match, because you can tell that their crest has the stars on it.
Has stars on it.
Yeah. And they have the eagle mask on with the flag draped over their shoulders. Just, yeah. Whoever you're repping for this Olympics, we're going to be covering you. We'll be doing preview episodes also moving forward, going into the quarters, the semis, and the final. So watch out for all of that. With all that being said, we are doing a giveaway. Check out our Instagram to see this amazing soccer bundle giveaway that we're going to be doing with Alphabet Legends. They are providing a really great pack. One of the things is this letter Soccer Legends men's and women's alphabet puzzle. It's so cool. Something my kids would love. But it's part of the giveaway. I want it myself, not for my kids, but like myself. It's really cool.
Yeah, we basically had to have a conversation of what we were keeping and what we were giving away, and it was difficult.
We also have the women's soccer legend alphabet. So it's basically an alphabet book, but it highlights international women's soccer players and the amazing things that they've done. We also have the Rainbow Legends alphabet, which is again, alphabet book on LGBTQ pioneers. And we have the Women of Sports Legends alphabet. So just all sports, all women alphabet book. And all of these things for free. All you got to do, super simple, comment on any one of the Olympic posts when they go up. 1 entry per post. So that means you can enter 3 times. Bonus if you share and tag us on something that we can see. So if you share it on your stories and you tag us and we can see it, that'll be a bonus one for you. And the winner will be announced as soon as the group stages are done. We'll just randomly draw, and someone will win all of these beautiful things. I'm going to take a nice, pretty picture of all this stuff tomorrow, and then we'll go from there. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for sitting in this vacuum with us and listening to the recap and the therapy that was needed after the Gotham match and all of our excitement for the Olympic break and everything that we're doing coming up. If you like what you hear and you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do so wherever you're listening. Check out casualfc.com for all the podcast links and where to do the things and click the links and press the buttons and all that good stuff. The best way to support the pod is to engage as much as you can. The more you feed the algorithm, the more the algorithm gives back. So share, leave comments on posts or episodes. Whatever type of engagement suits you, we dig it. You can check out our merch at shop.casualfc.com. We'll probably come up with some bonkers ideas over the break now that we have 4 milliseconds to think and rest a little bit. But we are hoping to get some more merch out before the end of the season and then start the ominous task of preparing for next season and the off season and all the things. But merch to come, as always. Merch is there. Buy it if you want. If not, no big deal. But if you also feel so inclined and you want to help support the pod monetarily and throw us a couple bucks, you can do so by what's called buying us a coffee. You can check out the link in all of our social bios or go to buymeacoffee.com/casualfcpod and throw some money at us that way. We are always so appreciative when anybody does it. It usually makes me teary-eyed. It's silly, but I am who I am. If Cap and Marta can cry as much as they do, so can I. So with that said, follow us on social media at casualfcpod on Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and TikTok. We will respond accordingly depending on where you hit us up. And most of you on Twitter follow me already. Hey, I am really bad at following people back. Sorry about it. But I see those follows. And last but not least, tell a friend about the pod. We're going to bank everything that all the good vibes, all the good thoughts, all the good everything. We'll bank it until after the Olympic break is over. Send it directly towards Giselle's ankle, Kristen Press's knee, any other knocks that anybody picked up, and just give them the good, warm, fuzzy Healy vibe. That way, when we come back from this break, oh, yes, speedy recovery, always and forever. But that way, when we come back from this break, everybody is has a fresh amount of new life breathed into them, and they can come back and it's a clean slate, and we just go from here. So with that, thank you, everyone. We will see you next week.